my destiny.
You are listening to You Are My Destiny radio show with Luca and Claudette.
From dream to reality, unlocking your destiny within. Here we go, another week, another show. You're listening to You Are My Destiny with Luca and Claudette, and we are here on Zanna Records Global Radio. And today we have a special guest because we have the pleasure, but also the honor when we go around and we do music to meet amazing people. And for me, music it's almost an excuse to really have such amazing experiences. Just a few months ago, when we went in studio in Burbank, at the Clear Lake Studios, and we did that amazing project with Live With No Regrets, Analog Rebellion. We had the opportunity to work with amazing musicians that beside the musical aspect, the professional aspect, I really found, at least for myself, speaking for myself, the pleasure to connect with other human beings that I find an amazing experience to know their life and also to just spend time together. Because it's beyond the music business. Yes, we have a business, we have to pay bills, we have contracts, we have things. But at the end, the most beautiful things when music happens, we have people, human beings getting together, creating together, and then also letting their personality really come out. And there are so many amazing, beautiful people that I met. And one of them I really enjoy. So much happy that we had the opportunity to meet Robert Sarzo. Robert, are you there?
I'm great, and Luca, the pleasure is mutual. I mean, it's been a great pleasure. Meeting you and knowing you and working with you, as you are a terrific songwriter.
Thank you.
Musician, and you have the sight. You can see things that can develop. And you put it to work. Very, very professional. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. And coming from you, because you're a veteran, Robert. I mean, I'm kind of an hybrid. I've been, yes, writing songs since I was a little kid. But reality is, I kind of, this is my new stage of my life for the last few years with my label. And you've been doing this way before you and I was probably walking around. Tell us a little bit about you. I mean, tell me about your professional journey and also, your journey, because you and Rudy have a very amazing journey. And we'll talk more about that also when we talk about a new project coming. But let's see, for people that maybe the first time they heard about you, who is Robert Sarzo?
Robert Sarzo is a human being that, just like everybody else, most of us love to love, life and appreciates things. I'm very grateful for any opportunity, and I just love people, good people, that is. So, and animals. I love animals, and my first love of love was music as a young man in Cuba. And that was my first appreciation to music, was the Afro-Cuban jazz style of music and entertainment. So, but, coming to America due to politics and government changing, and it happened very quickly. In Cuba, we had to migrate to the United States, and we were refugees, so immigrants actually of political reasons. But a month later, after I was in the United States, I turned 7. So I learned from my parents that you got to have integrity, you got to work hard for something that you believe in, and and being honest, to yourself and others. Treat others like you want to be treated.
Very good.
But I'm a musician. I fell in love. I knew as a young man, especially after I saw the Beatles in New Jersey, but that's something else we can talk about later.
Yeah.
But in Cuba, I was surrounded by entertainment. My
wow.
aunt sang and performed in the casinos. And she was an actress, when they did filming in Cuba. And my uncle was an opera singer and pianist, classical pianist. So
Wow.
the family, we were exposed to actually athletics and music. When I say athletics, my dad was a gymnast in Cuba, and he was champion in Cuba for 3 years.
Wow.
And my mom worked as a young lady playing tennis professionally. They got paid.
Wow.
Like they have the Highlight, Miami Highlight, and that was going on in Cuba. So they would have girls competing, and they were really playing against each other, playing tennis. So
Wow.
I had that background of athletics and music. So
You are the youngest, right, of the two brothers? How many brothers do you have? Besides
just Rudy and I am 4 years younger.
Okay, so just you and Rudy. Very good. Claudia, any questions you have for Robert?
Well, it sounds like you had a really rich childhood with your family history of the athletic and music. And you said you came to America when you were about 6 years old. I mean, do you remember what kind of, did that present a lot of challenge for you, or did you have a lot of support from your family to kind of integrate fairly quickly when you arrived?
I always had an amazing support from my parents. A lot of love. They will always, work with me in all my challenges. But, then again, they were dealing with their own challenges because my dad was pretty well established in Havana, Cuba. And to start all over again, meaning not even knowing the language and doing any kind of labor just to, support us and help us. And so it was very challenging. All of a sudden you're being challenged by other kids in school, and the environment, there was a lot of us that were migrating to Miami, and the people that lived there at the time, they were retirees from up north. It was the Jackie Gleason era. And they had no idea what was going on in Cuba and Miami, or if they did, it was the Bay of Pig, and it was really crazy times in the 60s. We came in 61. September 1st, so a month later was my birthday.
Wow.
October 6th. So, the challenges were, it was there. It was,
Robert,
the neighborhood. We were all being challenged, all the other kids as well.
I have a little detail visually. I have no idea, because I know sometimes when I think about leaving Cuba, especially the last few years, I see the news, people, trying to get on a canoe, on some sort of a boat, and try to make it through. What was your journey? Was on the boat, on the plane? How did you do that with your family?
It took about 3 years for my parents to get a visa.
Wow.
And I'm not going to get very deep on it, on the political things that we had to do, meaning the challenge was because my dad had a kind of position that, when the regime takes over, and it's communism or dictatorship, the first thing that they take over is the press. TV, magazine, newspaper, all of that. They want to control that. They want to control the media to, so certain things only get, talked about in the press. So that's dictatorship. So my dad was one of the engineers, top engineers, of the machineries of Bohemia magazine. So he saw that coming, the change. And while I was there, also we saw that they changed the currency to Fidel's currency. So if you had, and again, I was 6 years old. I don't have all the correct information, probably. All I can talk about is a 6-year-old what I witnessed.
Of course.
And I saw the currency changing, and then everybody that had money had no money now because
Wow.
they're like, this is your allowance. So let's say you have millions and millions and millions of pesos,
Wow.
which is what they call it in Cuba. Now all of a sudden you have what, like a tenth of that. So if you were rich, you're not rich anymore. And no matter what education you were, professor, doctor, attorney, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Everybody, yeah. But that regime, what happens is, now all of a sudden they get really fat financially because they took over, right? So, but we left on a Pan Am flight.
I see.
We were wearing a 3-piece suit, and we had duffel bags. We weren't supposed to tell people that we were leaving for some reason.
I see.
My dad, so my mom made duffel bags. She made great clothing also.
Wow.
But we had 3-piece suits, and we're wearing a tie. But we first left our home wearing beach clothing, like we were going away on vacation, which we used to do a lot. And we went to somebody else's place, and we put on a 3-piece suit, and then we got into another vehicle. And I remember my dad hiding in the back seat. I don't know why. But we went to the airport, Havana Airport.
Wow.
And our flight was delayed because of mechanical reasons, I think, to the next day.
Oh, no.
And and we had to rent a hotel there at the airport. And my mom was so scared that we would miss the flight. She stayed up all night.
Wow.
Just to wake us up in time. And we finally left, and we arrived in Miami Airport, Florida.
Wow.
USA on September 1st, 1961.
Well, let's take
And
one
from
second.
there,
On second break, I have just a little bit of a break. Keep your thoughts there, please. I don't want to interrupt you. We have a little break. You're listening to You Are My Destiny with Luca and Claudette, our special guest, Robert Sarzo. Stay there. Don't go anywhere.
When great music meets opportunities. Zanna Records, Global Radio.
To the show, this is Luca Zanna, and I'm here with Claudette Lyons, and more important, we are here with our friend Robert Sarzo. Robert, we talk about a little bit about your past, about where you're coming from, your roots. Now let's talk a little bit about your musical journey. Since you came to America, I know you've been always with kind of experience in music. You told me about the Beatles; they got an influence on you. But let's talk about the last maybe 40 years, 30 years that when you really start to get into the guitar world.
Yeah, that was basically because we went from Miami after we arrived 2 years later to New Jersey, and that's where I saw the Beatles on television at a friend's house. For the first time they arrived, and played the El Sullivan Show. So, I guess witnessing live on TV 4 lads from another country coming to America, which I could relate to, but they came together and they were so well embraced that I'm like, I got to do that. They got the girls. It looks like they're probably doing well financially.
Yeah.
They're having fun. It's kind of a brotherhood. That was the message that I got, watching them. It was the brotherhood. And me and my brother, we're very close. And it's like, okay, this is like a family. But these guys are now in another country, and they're spreading a beautiful message. They're singing about love, and, it's a positive message. So I loved it. I was like, okay, I've always liked music. So at that time, we weren't doing well financially at all, but somehow Mom and Dad ordered us a guitar through the Spiegel magazine. Mm-hmm. And we arrived and we figured out how to do that. But we brought the guitar back to Florida. We drove back down to Miami. And that's when I started putting it all together. All the kids in all the neighborhood had bands. So the British invasion, I really spread really well. Everybody wanted to play music. You got to remember, there was no internet. There was no cell phones, no pagers. TV was boring. There was no, nothing going on television other than the Ed Sullivan Show. It was very limited. Even radio. But whatever we were able to get our hands on vinyl, we would figure out. And I started putting bands together. That's what I did.
Wow.
So I had a harmony guitar that I had no idea how much I paid for it, probably very little, an amplifier. I used to collect baseball cards, which are probably worth a fortune now, if I still had them in mint condition. But I traded those for, parts of guitars and stuff. And I started building my own, pedal boards and stuff like that. So that was where I spent a good 8 years of really learning my craft. And I would have bands with my brother, and then sometimes, I would have other bands, and as a young guy, I was getting paid to play at private parties.
That's beautiful.
And what's interesting is the young generation now are being offered to play for the same amount of money that we did back in the 70s. And that's really sad.
That's very sad. Very true.
So,
did you have any formal training? I mean, did you study or did you self-taught yourself?
I taught myself, but I had a lot of friends in the neighborhood that played better than I did. They were more advanced, and we would trade licks. I was learning off vinyl and training my ear to listen to something in the vinyl. I would slow it down to from 33 RPM to 16, and sometimes I would put objects that were heavier to slow down the needle more. Now, what happens is, I can hear, let's say, Jimmy Page or Jeff Beck or, guitar players that were playing really fancy fast and doing bends, but it was a different key. So I had to learn in a lower key and then transpose it back to the original key. And then later on, I started taking also, proper lessons, classical and other styles of music. That was later on.
Wow.
But I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
So you got to figure it out. What do you do when you don't have that option? You figure it out and you do it, and it works.
And many musicians, anyway, if you think about it, they never went to school. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, I don't think he went to school. And many other classical, iconic musicians, they have to learn with their ears. If you had to pick 3 guitar players that you really think, influence your vision of music, what would be the names?
Oh, I would say from musical appreciation, Los Panchos, which were a group of Spanish guitar players, and they play a lot of like bolero, and I always say, I gotta say more than 3, Luca.
I know, they say whatever you want.
Oh my God, there was so many. I listened to all kinds of different players. Roy Clark, Roy Buchanan. Roy Buchanan just really, I picked a lot of stuff from him. His pinch harmonics, his chicken picking. Of course, there's Paco de Lucia.
Paco de Lucia,
Pace.
Wow.
Yeah, there's Jeff Beck. I really appreciate Aldi Meola because he was taking that style.
Yeah.
And eventually he got to play with Paco de Lucia, and John McLaughlin was another great influence of mine. I just like really progressive musicians. What was it? Steve Howe. I love that kind of style of playing.
And if I say something, you with the Hurricanes, you pretty much were a rock guy, you have all this influence of Hispanic and also, I don't want to call it, jazz, but at least, more sophisticated. When you talk about Aldi Meola, all these musicians, they are very well-educated musicians, but then you really, I think, found your niche, correct me if I'm wrong, in rock. Tell me a little more about the Hurricane and that project.
Yeah, Hurricane, I when I was in LA, I wanted to create a family of a group because I was in New York City doing session work and working for other people on Arista Records. And, so I kind of became a studio musician for the help of Jimmy Iovine. I guess he saw something that I was delivering that he really appreciated, and he would call me in for session work. And I was living in New Jersey, and go to New York and do all different albums, from reggae music to pop music. But it wasn't until Ozzy Osbourne flew me to Los Angeles when I got that call that I went back to that style of music that I was playing, in Florida. It was a mixture, a lot of blues stuff going on in Florida and dance music. But when I arrived in LA and I was rehearsing with the Ozzy Osbourne band, my brother was playing bass. I fell in love with Los Angeles, and I always wanted to move to Los Angeles because of palm trees. I love that kind of weather, of Miami weather, but without the humidity, but it had the business of New York City. So anyway, I arrived in LA, and first of all, you got to figure out where the hell you want to live, right?
Yeah.
And I got a 3-year-old son. I'm like, I want to go somewhere that's more suburban. I don't want to end up in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood was a little bit too edgy for me, and for my son and my wife. So I moved to Sherman Oaks, in the middle, close to Hollywood and Burbank, all the studios. But I went to a few auditions, and I really wasn't really thrilled with the kind of music that they were playing. And it wasn't, I like singers that have a good melodic, harmonic under voice, a good tone. Appreciating, Robert Plant, Deep Purple. Richie Blackmore, by the way, was another one, really influenced me a lot in guitar playing.
Yes.
But I love great singers. So I didn't hear any bands that were auditioning for guitar players had that kind of singer. So that's when I started putting together Hurricane.
Wow.
And that was back in 1982. And I already had the concept and the knowledge that I already had worked, touring, doing arenas and performing, being under Clive Davis' record label, going out and touring, opening up for Bob Seger, Boomtown Rats, already had been on TV video. So I already had endorsements, and I already had stuff going on already back in New York City. So I took that knowledge and I used it here as kind of okay, I'm going to put a band together. So I split everything equally, by the way. And I wanted everybody to be happy, and it wasn't like this was my solo deal, my solo band. But anyhow, that's why I put Hurricane together. And I was looking, it took me a long time to find the Kelly Hansen style of singing that I ended up having.
Yeah.
Because he was very melodic. It reminded me of Paul McCartney that could sing, and, good singers. And then, it went on and on and on. So, got all the, song styles together enough, to get a record label behind it.
What was behind the label at the time?
It was Enigma Capital, but I first had to come up with an album because in LA, they wanted bands, even back then in the early 80s, they had to pay to play.
Yeah, I know that. I remember that. I mean, I wasn't there, but I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you think outside the box? Well, thank goodness for KNC radio station out in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And so we produced our own record. It was an EP, and we started getting airplay on KNC. And I already had endorsement. I had Ibanez endorsement because of Ibanez, they own Tama. So when Jay Shellen joined the band, now he's got a kick-ass drum kit. So we had endorsements. I get on the phone, I call the company, tell them what we're doing, and they would send me equipment to advertise them.
Wow.
So it works. You promote them, they promote you. So
that's great.
It's as simple as that. So we get airplay, and by doing that, now we got a buzz and now we get paid to play in clubs.
That's
So,
right.
and we were playing the whole strip of Hollywood and even San Pedro, Dancing Waters. And because we got airplay, we got a record deal.
And then you got TV. I mean, I remember that you have some nice also music video for the time. It was pretty cool. I mean, on MTV too. I saw. You remember one of two songs that you were on TV?
Yeah, we had Handbangers Ball. Well, the first song that I wrote for Hurricane, the music, was the song Hurricane. And that was that broke us into MTV, and then there was I'm On To You and Over the Edge.
Wow.
Those already were those three did very well on MTV.
Claudia, any questions you have about Robert music, journey or anything?
Yes, if you had to give advice to somebody who has a dream, about, just giving more time to their dream of music, but sometimes it's hard for people to believe that it can only be done the way the industry seems to tell them. I think, Luca, you experienced that a lot, and you've been, as you said, Robert, thinking outside of the box. What is a little piece of advice that you would tell one of those dreamers about their vision for their music?
Well, there's new technology right now that people can do with AI for songwriting. I say go for it, keep writing, and there's different ways. I see a lot of people now, they go to school to learn music to back up other musicians. In other words, like being the backup artist. So you first got to make up your mind what you want. What is your dream? Do you want to be a backup artist, or do you want to be the artist in the front, like a Taylor Swift? Do you want to be the Justin Bieber? What do you want out of your, industry? So you first got to figure out what you want to do, and then where do you want to end up, right? Your final stage of success, because success to me is the journey. Mm-hmm. Once you get to that destination, you're like, okay, now what?
Right.
That's me.
Yeah.
To me, success is the road, the journey.
Right.
So as long as you're moving to that direction, but get a piece of paper, write down where you want to be in, let's say, 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then work backwards to where you are now.
Wow,
Nice.
I like that.
Start mapping. What do you got to do?
Yep.
And as you're going in that direction, right, to where you want to be, things change. The industry changes. So you have to adapt.
Right.
I think that's the word that I'm looking for, adapting
Yes,
to the industry.
that's true. You've been adapting gratefully. I learned a little bit about you, and you've been a pro all these years, and I'm sure many changes. As you can see now, we went from listening to vinyls and cassette, and now we're into this streaming world, and and everything's changing, but we have to adapt. Listen, I'd like to ask you, no more than ask, I'd like to talk a little bit about the coming project that we have together, because I think is amazing, and I believe in destiny. Me and Claudia, of course, we have the show, it's called You Are My Destiny, and I think this is part of our journey with you too, in a way. We met for a project, Live With No Regrets. That was an amazing experience, going back to a studio together with musicians like you, your brother, of course, and we have Robin, then we have Kevin, then we have, of course, Danny, and that was amazing. That was the beginning. I feel now, looking from outside, it was almost like, I don't want to call it the excuse, but was the opportunity to find each other. And now, after that song that I think, by the way, I wanted just to let you know, today I just had a confirmation that the song that you play the guitar, Live With No Regrets, we recorded together, is being released in this network called Mood Media Network. It's the biggest network of commercial stores around the world. They have 500,000 stores around the world. and they approved the song into their licensing for playing it around the stores. So that just to let you know, you may go next time maybe to Walmart and maybe you can listen to the song.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
Oh, I'll send you the press release. It's amazing. I didn't expect that. That came out this morning. I wanted to give you the good news to every one of you guys. And
Nice.
thank you again, first of all, for the really, because I had the vision of the song, but you are the one playing it. And that's the most important thing at the end, the delivery and the production. And but let's talk now about the next thing coming, this Cuba Libre that I wrote exactly 15 years ago, if no more. I was fresh into America, and I was learning a little bit about the reality of people coming to America, but I didn't know much about Cuban refugees. I just had an idea. But one night I had a dream that for me, most of my melodies, believe it or not, come into my dreams. And the dream wasn't a beautiful dream. It was kind of a sad dream. I woke up almost crying. I said, wow, I saw people on the streets desperate, looking for food and fighting, defending themselves, being carried into cars, being almost kidnapped. And the strange thing for me, I never watched any video from people from Cuba. I had some idea, something, but I never really watched a movie. So the visual that I had for me was almost like a gift, maybe, or maybe some sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but I was there and I was like a witness. So when I was there, I had the melody came to me, and I woke up with a humming melody like I do. Claudia knows, normally I wake up at night with my little phone, I record it. At the time, I had a little cassette recorder, believe it or not, and I recorded the melody, and then I came up with the lyrics, and then I started to learn more about what happened the last 40, 50 years in Cuba, and then I said, wow, and that's the song. And I let it sit there. I had this opportunity to record it with a young man at the time that was a son of exile from Cuba, Ruben, that, by the way, is going to be into the studio with us, along with Jitsi Pearl. And then, of course, I did this little song. I put it out and let it sit for about probably 16 years. And then a few weeks ago, after I was thinking about you guys and the experience we had together, I said, wow, this could be the perfect song to record together with you and your brother and, of course, Ruben. And then now we have also Jitsi in the studio. So let's talk a little bit about the coming production. What do you think about the song? And more important, I know you put amazing guitars. Tell me a little bit about the job you've done so far.
Well, first of all, I would say congratulations on what you're doing with the label. It's amazing, and I'm really excited about it, to see what's coming tomorrow and the next day. You're doing a great, you have an amazing vision, Luca. You really do.
Thank you.
And I'm saying, as the business part of it, and also as a composer, that message that you got probably in your subconscious when you were asleep came from the universe.
Yes.
And somehow I trust the universe. I trust God. And I believe things happen for a reason. And when I heard that song that you sent me, Cuba Libre, it was like, I got tears.
Wow.
And it was like, this is now. This has got to be now. It's got to be recorded. Remember, I mentioned to you, said, no, we should do this one, because you sent me another great songs. You keep sending me some really, really great songs. But this one was like, I don't know. Something's telling me that the timing.
Yes.
We got to do this one next. I don't know why. I'm not going to question the universe.
Yeah.
It's really a natural flavor for me to record these parts. And I started just listening to the song and the lyrics, and the melody is so intense that it just comes natural out of me. I just play record, and I record what I'm feeling.
Wow.
So, and I tend to do that with any song, any parts that I'm recording. I have to stand up and play, because to me, I could be playing in front of 30,000 people, or more, or nothing in front of me other than the machine recording, right? It's not about where I am, but it's what I'm feeling at that moment. And I let the music do the talking.
Wow. Wow.
And I play for the song. I don't play for my ego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't write for how can I be, flashy, or it's like, no. I'm playing for what I'm feeling. And if other people don't get it, or they love it, or they don't, it's not about that. It's what I'm feeling at that moment. And I may be playing the same song 6 months later,
mm-hmm.
and I may be playing it a little different because I'm a different person that day.
That's true. Claudia, any questions about the project, about Cuba?
I just want to say to what you were just speaking about, Robert, I had the honor of being at Clear Lake Studios in Burbank when you all were doing Live With No Regrets. And when you were in the studio and you were playing, I witnessed through you what you just expressed when you were playing your guitar. So it was really, truly beautiful. And I want to just say that was really a gift to be able to be there and see you kind of open up and the song flow through you with your guitar. It was very special.
Yes, it was an amazing experience for me too, because I tell you, the last time I saw also musicians playing the way you did, guys, mm-hmm. in a studio with a tape on top, that was when I left Italy in 1997 or 1998. It was maybe even a couple of years before I went to a studio. At the time we had tape, and that was the way I remember music being done. Now everything is a computer, and don't get me wrong, I use computers too, I use technology, but I like to go back to the roots, and I like sometimes to do projects that really bring the focus on the music the way it used to be played, like
and the sound is different.
Exactly.
It's analog.
Exactly.
I still have I have a turntable.
Yeah.
And I have a record collection.
Yeah.
But my record collection is nothing like what I play.
Yeah.
Because I love to research and I love to keep learning. And but I do love the sound. I walk into different places that are playing vinyl or they're playing digital, mm-hmm. and I hear the difference.
Yeah.
My ears are trained to know the different harmonics or the range of the warmth of analog. Analog moves with waves.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you got us to go into Clear Lake Studio and record an analog and a real board. I believe that was a Trident board that came in from England. So
yeah.
It
true.
captures a different sound. So, even my guitar amp is the Mesabarba tube amp. So it's going from tube to analog to analog to analog. And it's great. And when you're recording on tape, you got to really pay attention because it's not a cut and paste, so you don't want to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You want to play the way that it's going to be printed on the tape.
Exactly. Listen, we are going to be so excited because we are waiting at this point, probably by today, your brother put in the bass, hopefully in the truck, as we have the bass from Rudy on Cuba Libre. We are ready to book the studio, and we're going to go there. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to have, of course, two amazing singers. One is Gypsy Pearl, the former singer that Love Hate and now plays with Quiet Riot. And it's one of my, funny because I didn't know that he was playing with your brother. But one of my favorite songs that really from Love Hate, I can't wait to see him in person. But also we have Ruben Martinez, that is the original singer for Cuba Libre. He's been with me since I came to America. And I can't wait to meet him. He's the son of refugees like you guys. And then, of course, you and Rudy, and you're going to hopefully contribute to the vocals, too. I would love to have you put your vocals, because we're going to be in studio just record the vocals. And we're going to make an amazing human blend of voices to represent the people of Cuba, hope in this struggle. So it's going to be amazing. I look forward to see you guys all together back into the Clear Lake Studios.
I am looking totally forward to doing that. And I'm leaving some more guitar tracks to the end.
Okay.
I love to track after the bass
Okay.
and Danny, Danny's doing an amazing job. He's a
Yes.
great producer
Yes.
and musician,
Yes.
and so I'm looking forward to getting more of the final stage of the song, and then I'll add the flavor.
Yeah, and don't forget we have your son, JR.
Yeah.
You put me in contact with him. We are officially working together. I'm so grateful for that. And he's coming to the studio too, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but his team is coming with everything to make an amazing job to really, let's say, crystallize, to record this moment of the production. And then, of course, asking, you or your brother or anybody like Ruben, anybody their experience connected to this song, or more important, to the message of the song. So it's going to be kind of a family reunion. We have all the Sarzo family there. And then we have, of course, a lot of great people being all together. We're going to have a great day at the studio. I can't wait to book it, okay?
I am so looking forward to it. Yeah.
Anything you want to say to Robert before we leave?
Thank you for being here today with us, Robert. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you all again on the next podcast show.
Yes, and don't forget, we have another thing going that we're not going to talk today, but we believe in music that crosses the boundaries between rock and electronic. So we will talk about that later, okay?
Yes, we will.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Robert. Big Axe, thank you very much. Okay, and last thing, if somebody wants to be in touch with you, maybe, I don't know, because of music productions, or maybe just listening to your music, do you have a website or something you want to share, Facebook, anything?
Yeah, they can reach me through Facebook message.
Okay.
And I have two. I have the Robert Sarzo Facebook, and then I have the other one but the first one that I opened up was just for family and friends, and that's already at 5,000. So I like to have other people, also communicate through me with the other one, the Robert Sarzo.
Music. Okay.
Yeah, Robert Sarzo Music. So
Okay, we're
I
gonna.
do respond. I do get in there and I listen. I look up messages and yeah.
All right, Robert. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later. Okay.
We'll talk later. Pleasure. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cuba libre, tierra nuestra de libertad. Claim our land for the final stand against the tyrant. We're gonna fight this red revolution, oppression and executions. Cuba, Cuba, Cuba Libre. Can defy our dream. Hey, Fidel, we've had enough of your regime. Hunger for the body, castration for the soul, communist brainwashing, human freedom's crushed soul. nuestra de libertad. Freedom.
From EDM to hard rock, from classical to pop, this is Zanna Records, Global Radio.
The technique is our bedroom here, and I want to be very upfront here. You can hear, by the way, we have an interesting background noise, Claudia. It's, what is this, like a leaf machine, blowing machine? Mm-hmm. Okay, so just to let you know, this is not a typical radio show. This is not a typical radio. We're here directly webcasting from Sedona, Arizona. Luca and Claudette, you're listening to You Are My Destiny. And we could have, avoided this noise, but it can make it even more interesting. Yes, we are really close to somebody working very hard in their backyard. Claudia, what is the final part of today's show that we want to talk about it?
We want to share with everyone listening, for anybody who's interested, or if you think of anybody while we're chatting about it, you could share it with them. This fall in Sedona, we will be having a transformative retreat. And I just want to chat real quick about what are some of the top reasons why people come to a retreat and what does it really offer to people. And one of the top things is to reset and to recover, simply because in life, I think we can all understand from time to time we can feel very overwhelmed, exhausted, or just disconnected from some of the joy that's really important, because I feel the world needs more creators and less consumers. So a retreat such as the one we're offering this fall for the fall equinox offers a non-judgmental space to slow down, reduce stress, improve sleep, and restore physical and emotional energy. Another one, a top reason why people would search for a retreat, is to gain clarity and personal growth. Many people that attend retreats, it's during their life transitions or when they're seeking a deeper sense of purpose. And it's when they want time away from the daily distractions so that they can reflect. Maybe they want to do a little healing, set some new goals, and reconnect with themselves in a different atmosphere.
Very good. And I'm very excited because this is my first retreat I attended in my life, period. We have also a website. We also have a domain name, Sedona Equinox Retreat.com. So if you're interested, you can go to Sedona Equinox Retreat.com, or just find us at lucaclaudette.com, and you can directly email us from there. What I really like about this retreat, not only the beautiful opportunity for people to relax and find the things that you just mentioned, but also, it's only 10 people. It's a very limited number. And also we're going to do some live music. So it's going to be kind of a private concert or environment that we can share music and have with few, friends, I would like to call them at that point, and have that. What do you think, Claudia? It's going to be fun.
It's going to be very fun. What I really like about it as well is we're going to be offering skills that you can take home with you, like how to do self-hypnosis, which is extremely beneficial in everyday life, to relax yourself, and also to gain different goals, like maybe more focus. But it's also another place to build healthier habits and create lasting change and lasting relationships with new friends.
That's amazing. So again, one more time, if you're interested, go check it out. www, I know it's old-fashioned, www was in the 90s probably, Sedona Equinox Retreat.com. And for today, from Luca and Claudette, it's pretty much it. And we're going to let you go with a song that hopefully is going to make you feel in a good mood. Just Let It Go, Las Vegas Remix by Luca and Claudette. What do you think about that song?
I love it.
I think I love it too. All right, enjoy the rest of the week, and let's talk next time. Stay there. Don't go anywhere.
Just let it go.
Hey, just let it go. Hey, just let it flow. Hey, and this is how you change your world. Hey, just let it go. Hey, just let it go. Hey, just let it flow. Hey,
Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Can you imagine? Focus your